freeway to the Sun is the most important highway axis between Paris and the south of France. It also serves the suburban area, the traffic count being of 58,000 vehicles a day in the south of the Essonne department, reaching 100,000 in the north. The roadway was originally built with 2 lanes, in sections starting from Paris between 1958 and 1966, in the departments of the Val-de-Marne, the Essonne, then of the Seine-et-Marne. Later on they were widened. The importance of this route and the age of the road surface led the Cetra to organize an operation of continued monitoring on the sections under its control. The West Parisian Regional Laboratory has perfected and applied a method of examination which revealed as early as 1974 some unfavorable situations concerning the support of the slabs. Surveys effected in 1977, 1978 and 1980 by means of the GERFO confirmed that certain sections of the A6 freeway had reached a critical phase of evolution. The diagram of the development of the deterioration factor resulting from these measures illustrates this. A work program was determined for the entire route. It was decided that in 1980 priority would be given to the section situated between the junctions at Melun and Fontainebleau, a distance of 9 kilometers on the Paris-bound roadway. Closer investigation led to a decision to keep a part of the treated shoulder for emergency stops and to maintain the middle lane in its present state on condition that some of the slabs should be repaired. A list of the faults, drawn up slab by slab, proved to be a most useful work document during the construction period. The following measures were specified in the work contract: demolition of part of the treated shoulder for emergency stops, demolition of the slow lane comprising a concrete surface 28 centimeters thick on a 15 centimeter cement treated base, preliminary treatment of the sub-base to a depth of 30 centimeters, reconstruction in accordance with the indications of the structural list, 15 centimeters of lean concrete base, 28 centimeters of concrete surface layer, establishment of a treated shoulder for emergency stops with drainage, renovation of some 100 slabs in the middle lane, repair of slab corners by means of hydraulic and polymer mortar, transverse grooving of the middle lane, and renovation of the impermeability of the joints. The time schedule for the work involved on such a site had to take into account not only the restrictions affecting the road users, but also the possibility of carrying out the work within the allotted time. The need to minimize the duration of the construction job led us to rule out those months during which weather conditions are likely to be unfavorable, the best period for the work being situated between May and October for a total work time of 3 months. Had the work been carried out in May, June or July, it would have incurred the following drawbacks: traffic congestion 10% greater than in August, September and October. Disturbance of the traffic during July, the busiest month of the year. And finally, the many non-working days in May would have led to a lengthening of the duration of the site. The Departmental Direction of Equipment of the Essonne therefore decided that the work should take place during August, September and October, its various stages being adapted to traffic estimates. In the southbound direction from Paris, traffic was always maintained on 2 lanes. Going towards Paris, 2 separate stages were determined. From the 5th to the 20th of August, during working days, the traffic was channeled into a single lane in the contrary direction on the roadway southbound from Paris. For the return journeys at weekends, an extra lane was freed on the other roadway. From the 21st of August to the 30th of October, traffic circulated on 2 lanes during working days. An extra lane was added to complete the system for the weekend return journeys, that is, 3 lanes in the direction of the busiest traffic in accordance with the normal capacity of the freeway. Consequently, the heaviest summer traffic loads of the beginning and of the end of August were able to take place in satisfactory conditions due to the exceptional measures decided upon for this work site. Radio hookup between the police force, the work site and the Regional Centre for Highway Information, analysis of traffic flow by an airplane of the Regional Equipment Direction during the heaviest traffic load periods. These measures complemented the usual means of information for road users, such as signs indicating recommended routes and the distribution of leaflets.
Serge Molitor. Les retours de ce long week-end du 15 août. Je demande tout de suite à Jean Pelletier, qui survole la région parisienne, je crois, entre Corbeil et Évry, à bord de l'avion du Centre de l'information routière d'Île-de-France, de nous dire, Jean Pelletier, comment s'effectuent actuellement les rentrées.
Eh bien, écoutez, ça se passe très bien au sud de Corbeil, là où il y a la première tranche de travaux. Eh bien, beaucoup d'automobilistes ont choisi de prendre les itinéraires de délestage. Sur ces itinéraires, eh bien, il n'y a pas de problème non plus, bien que la circulation soit lente. Les premiers...
The first stage was mainly devoted to the repair of the fractured slabs of the middle lane. After cutting the joints, over 100 slabs were demolished by a concrete breaker, and the blocks reserved for crushing were placed in a stockyard. "25 slabs were thus dealt with each week from Monday to Wednesday. On the Thursday and Friday, They were rebuilt with concrete containing HPR, high initial resistance cement, so that by the weekend the emergency vehicles could circulate. In 24 hours, the compression factor is of 250 bars and of 300 bars in 48 hours. These results are sufficient to make the process suitable for concrete sites when it is necessary to put the roadway back into service rapidly. At the same time, the following work was undertaken. Demolition and removal at the rate of 3,000 tons per day of the concrete and cement from the slow lane after reaming of the treated shoulder for emergency stops and of the base layer. Treatment of the sub-base with 5% of cement to a depth of 30 centimeters. With a view to their reuse in the lean base concrete and in the porous concrete which formed the lateral drain, the 25,000 tons of products retained from the old concrete roadway were crushed as the demolition proceeded. The crushing and grading station, set up close to the concrete mixers, produced at an average rate of 100 tons per hour a sand size 05, small gravel 515, and gravel 1535. On the repair site of the A1 freeway, it had not been possible to mix into the concrete the sand produced by crushing, because it contained too many varieties of fines to be used again. On the A6 freeway, on the other hand, moistening of the construction material by spraying water under high pressure on the crushing station stabilized the fines content of the sand. It could in this way be used again in the base concrete and the porous concrete. This setup eliminates the dust and so widens the possibilities of utilization of demolition byproducts. Various other work was carried out during this first stage. Transverse grooving of the middle lane at the rate of 1,000 square meters per day, repairs by means of hydraulic and polymer mortar, renovation of the 25,000 meters of joints of the remaining lanes. The removal by planing of a 500-meter section of asphalt pavement enabled it to be recycled and used again on the treated shoulder for emergency stops. There were no particular safety problems on the site during this period, as the northbound lane towards Paris was closed. On the other hand, traffic facing the wrong way in single file on the opposite lane, with no shoulder for emergency stops, made it necessary to take very severe safety precautions, notably additional signing with information every 500 meters, continuous placing of safety devices, and constant supervision by day and by night. When the holidaymakers had returned at the end of August, the second phase of the work was begun, that is, continuation of the demolition and treatment of the sub-base, then high-speed concreting. To keep within schedule, very important material means were used. For example, to make the concrete, the contractor's firm, Droits, set up on the site 2 automatic SGME plants, whose capacity was respectively of 300 cubic meters and 80 cubic meters per hour. These mixers are equipped with recording devices to assure the correct weight of each ingredient, the admixture, and the operating character of the plant. Consequently, uniformity of the batches could be verified at any time. Studies to detect the correct formula for the surface concrete led us to use CPA 55 cement, eruptive rock aggregate 520 and 2040, and sand from the Melun River. For the lean concrete base, it was decided to use CLK cement, which consumes little power, together with gravel obtained by crushing, and the addition of Melun River sand. The various types of concrete were laid by a Guntert Zimmermann slip-form paver guided electronically along cables. The machine advanced at a rate of 900 linear meters per day. On very wide concrete laying sites, the mixing of the concrete limits the progress of the paving machine. In this case, their advance was slowed down by the maneuvering of the supply trucks. To avoid the problem of reflective cracking, a layer of reinforced curing compound was applied to the foundation, whose surface needs to be as smooth as possible. Spreading of the product and the transverse grooving were done by the same machine. The transverse joints were cut by multi-blade machines from 12 to 18 hours after the laying of the concrete. The excavation left open between the concrete paving and the retained part of the shoulder for emergency stops was filled by a porous concrete which will provide drainage for the entire roadway. On the roadway under repair, it was necessary to maintain a permanent fast lane for the traffic and to reopen an additional lane at weekends. These obligations led to important safety problems due to the coexistence of the traffic and the worksite on the same roadway. The contractors had to deal with many major constraints, but their constant worry was the excessive speed of the vehicles. Only the presence of the police force can bring some solution to this problem. It may be useful to emphasize certain specific aspects of this worksite, which was carried out under traffic conditions. As many different types of work are involved, efficient coordination is necessary at all levels: equipment, police force, and contractors. Meticulous preparation is essential. Work and safety constraints prescribe production methods that are free of risk and occupational hazards. And the construction technique of concrete roadways can be adapted to the most difficult problems. This is how the worksite of the freeway to the sun could be undertaken in favorable conditions.